the presentation on?
And he's going to talk about global poverty alleviation. He's worked in this area earlier too, in Rajasthan with an activist organization, and that was probably a trigger point for further work in this area. So let's hear from him.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you for the opportunity of speaking to all of you all about an event which I hope some of you all will consider being a part of. It's called the Global Action on Poverty, and it's an event which will occur next March, on the 12th and 13th of March, on the, I think, the 85th anniversary of the Dandi March. And it will occur from where the Dandi March started, which is the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So it's just a few months away. And it's predicated on, well, I'll just quote, the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. It's bridging that gap from Gandhi's quote that we hope to be a part of. So it's really a marriage of thought and action. And we'd like to bring together people who both have done a lot to alleviate poverty in their own lives, and unite them with people who are contemplating action. And we want to be that trigger point or that formative process through which those beginnings can occur. And obviously we have many illustrious partners. It's based on a very strong belief that poverty is definitely, well, the British group said it, poverty is history. Well, poverty has the potential of being history. It no longer is just a good, it isn't good sentiment. It certainly is feasible within the material resources that the planet has, even with limited amounts of changes which are possible in our lifetimes. So we hope to bring together at least 100 individuals who we call change makers, who are in the process of commencing a process of change. People who have had ideas, and I think we are speaking at the right place, the Dreamers and Doers Conference. People who've had ideas of change, who either already committed themselves or are about to. And we believe these people occur at least in two life stages. One is post-education between the ages of 20 and 30, people who are already committed to social action. And there are others who are in mid-career, have had professions and come from the worlds of business, but are at a fork in their lives where they want to address issues related to poverty. We hope to be inviting and speaking to both of these people, who we call change makers, to unite with other actors who we call catalysts and mentors, and I'll just come to them, to act in a set of areas. And those areas are listed there on the left. There's housing, there's health, there's water, there's education, there's employment, there's agriculture, there's the environment. There's a broad notion of poverty. Poverty is ultimately a combination of many different deprivations. And we are interested in sparking those or setting them off on their journey who want to address any of those. So who's a change maker? It's any individual. We don't have an age limit, right? It's somebody who's, and we don't have a language or an education limit. We're not offering a job. We are helping those individuals, hopefully some of you, realize your dreams. And as long as people are committed and the area of change falls broadly under the umbrella of poverty eradication, we are very happy to have them come and participate as change makers. If they're already committed to an area of concern, may not have a very clearly defined specific action, and we hope to help in that process. As long as the commitment is there, the drive is there, and an area of concern has been identified, we would be happy to consider individuals as potential change makers. And we intend to meet each one of these change makers in a process to see that if we are a good fit for them and vice versa. We are also uniting them with 100 catalysts. So catalysts are individuals who've already been there, done that. So, and catalysts are of many different kinds. So there are some who are from a philanthropic bent, people who will provide resources. Catalysts are individuals who are committed to making change makers succeed. So they can help them succeed in many different ways. Any such enterprise requires many different things to be done. Some of it relates to financial matters. So some catalysts are people who are philanthropists or social impact funds, but we're not primarily a funding event. There are many others who are actually very successful activists in specific areas and specific projects, and they will share their experience, their advice, and their understanding to the change makers who are coming to GAP. Sorry, I think I pressed the escape button, and if somebody can help me, I'd appreciate it. So we also have, great. And so this actually repeats some of the things which I've mentioned. The catalyst would include people who are from non-governmental organizations, activists, and also from corporate backgrounds and social impact backgrounds and institutional players as well. And helping us put together this event, we're very grateful to have Arun Maira, who some of you all may know, who's been both in the world of business, in the Tata Group, and Boston Consulting, as well as with the National Planning Commission, and has helped facilitate many long-term dialogues on the future of India and putting that together with diverse actors. And he's helping us put together this event in which we have the confirmations from the following mentors. Some names would be familiar to you. And mentors are people who are going to guide this process in this interactive 2-day process. And I'll speak briefly about our mentors. Aruna Roy from the Right to Information Movement, Bankar Roy, who's put together traditional skills and technology, John Rez, who's done much work on hunger and alleviating it in India, as well as schooling and the rights of very young children and girl children. Madhav Chavan from schooling and the quality of schooling, Harish Hande on getting access to the poor for energy. Ila Bhatt, who's done so many things, I won't try to summarize it. And Harsh Mandar, who's worked on with everything from victims of calamities to victims of violence, and had tried to address them right from national legislation to non-governmental action. Professor Mohammad Yunus, who everybody knows for his work on microfinance and now on driving social entrepreneurship and social businesses. Dr. Srinath Reddy, who's one of the founders of the Public Health Foundation of India and has done much to reinvigorate public health in the country and the idea of universal healthcare, tobacco control, many of things associated with him. And Bill Drayton, who founded the Ashoka Foundation many, many decades ago, which actually finds and supports social entrepreneurs. So we've got all of these individuals coming in this 2-day process in which, and I'm trying to speak to the potential change makers and potential catalysts amongst you all. So change makers are really looking to either jump into the water or take their work to the next level, and are looking for some support and useful contribution in that process. Catalysts are those people who are generous enough to help them, and the mentors are there because they have a very broad vision and are actually willing to guide these individuals. So through the 2-day process, we would be hearing first from these mentors on their insights, and then focus on all of the participants who've come to hear from each one of them their plans and the support they need to make their plans move further and help shape those plans through collective input. So it's not a conference. It's not like a conference or a seminar where you come in and you hear things. It's more like a workshop where you will enter, and hopefully there will be certain transformations which are useful for you to set out on your journey thereafter. We also are developing a plan of how we'll support the 100 change makers once they leave Sabarmati and in their first year of action. And just like to end with a quote of Nelson Mandela, which reiterates that, and he should know, he compares poverty to apartheid here, and on the ability of us really in a few decades to eliminate that. So those of you all who are interested in this event can write to my colleague whose contacts are up there, or you can simply look up Global Action Against Poverty and write to us from the Changemakers website, which is email ID which is mentioned there, or you can simply find Sunil or me sitting in the 4th row somewhere and get hold of us, and we'll be happy to take you to the next step. Thank you for your patience. Thanks.